Thanks for staying with us on DD India. I'm Sakalbat and you're watching our special rolling coverage on Delhi Assembly elections. The capital contest being completely taken by storm by India's ruling party at the centre, BJP, which is clearly headed for a big win, at least on 47 plus seats, handing a big defeat to Aam Aadmi Party, while the Congress party has been completely decimated in these assembly polls as well in New Delhi, the national capital of India. But that's the big national headline coming from New Delhi. Plus more, before we go back to our reporters on the ground and analyze these election trends converting into results very quickly, let's do a recap of the headlines at this hour. India's ruling party at the centre, the BJP, all set to return to power in the national capital Delhi after 27 years, beating Aam Aadmi Party. Aam Aadmi Party chief Arvind Kejriwal loses to Parvez Sahib Singh of the BJP. Delhi incumbent chief minister Atishi Marlena wins from the Kalkaji constituency. Hamas set to release 3 Israeli captives. In exchange, Israel to set free 183 Palestinian prisoners. US President Trump to meet his Ukrainian counterpart Zelenskyy next week. Ukraine claims North Korean troops back on the front line. The big breaking of this hour on DT India is that BJP is all set to return to power in India's national capital after a gap of more than 2 decades, 27 years. Now, counting of votes for the Delhi Assembly polls is still underway, but the initial trends indicate, and now it is official, that it's the BJP which is going to govern the national capital, even as the counting still continues. Aam Aadmi Party convener Arvind Kejriwal has been defeated by the BJP's Parvez Sahib Singh, the son of the former Chief Minister of Delhi, Sahib Singh Verma, from a crucial New Delhi constituency, a very decisive and crucial and politically sensitive constituency. Also, Delhi incumbent Chief Minister Atishi Marlena has won from her Kalkaji seat. Earlier, she was trailing behind, but she caught up and has won this seat for Aam Aadmi Party. She defeated BJP's Ramesh Biduri. Senior BJP leader Ramesh Biduri has been defeated by Atishi Marlena, the incumbent Chief Minister of incumbent Chief Minister of Delhi from Aam Aadmi Party. And from Jangpora seat, another high-profile constituency, Aam Aadmi Party's Manish Sisodia, the Deputy Chief Minister, the former Deputy Chief Minister, has lost to BJP's Tarvinder Singh Marwa. This is in the... Another Aam Aadmi Party leader, Satyendra Jain, has lost to BJP's Karnail Singh from Shakur Basti constituency. BJP's Satish Upadhyay is leading as of now from Malviya Nagar against Aam Aadmi Party Somnath Bharti. More and more reactions continue to pour in. Well, Congress has conceded defeat. Aam Aadmi Party also has, in a way, conceded defeat in those crucial constituencies, though there are some winners there as well. A lot of reactions. Take a listen.
जो सरकार बन रही है दिल्ली में, ये प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को दिल्ली में लेके आएगी, तो मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने अपना समय दिया। मैं दिल्ली की जनता का बहुत-बहुत एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद करता हूं, और ये जीत, ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है, ये सभी दिल्ली वासियों की जीत।
प्रधानमंत्री जिस प्रकार से लोक कल्याण की भावना शासन चला रहे हैं, तो दिल्ली वासियों ने भी विश्वास व्यक्त किया। पहले हरियाणा, फिर महाराष्ट्र, उसके पहले दिल्ली, ये लगातार जीत का सिलसिला जारी रहेगा। मेरी अपनी ओर से बधाई। जहां भी भाजपा कार्यकर्ताओं ने मेहनत की और भाजपा पर लोगों ने विश्वास बताया।
प्रदीप is joining at 2:30. Keep an eye.
सरकार बनने जा रही है। मोदी जी का जलवा सर चढ़कर बोल रहा है। आम आदमी पार्टी के बड़े बड़े नेताओं की हार के बाद झूठ, फरेब, मुफ्तबाजी की राजनीति का अंत हो रहा है।
रुझानों से लगता है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी सरकार बना ले जाएगी, और रुझानों से भी लगता है कि कांग्रेस का परफॉर्मेंस बहुत खराब है, इसलिए कि जो वोट कांग्रेस का आम आदमी पार्टी के में चला गया था वो हमें आना चाहिए था, वो भारतीय जनता पार्टी में जाता हुआ दिखाई पड़ रहा है।
Congratulations.
तो वोट ऑफ परसेंटेज थोड़ा बहुत बढ़ भी जाए तो मैं कहूँगा तो भी हमारी हार है।
जंगपुरा विधानसभा का चुनाव हम सब कार्यकर्ताओं ने मिलकर बहुत मेहनत से लड़ा।
ऑडियो टेस्ट।
जंगपुरा विधानसभा के लोगों ने भी बहुत प्यार मोहब्बत सम्मान दिया, लेकिन 600 वोट से लगभग 600 वोट से उसमें हम पीछे रह गए। तो मैं जो कैंडिडेट जीते हैं उनको बधाई देता हूँ।
Also, Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah has applauded the results, sharing his sentiments on platform X. He wrote, and I quote, let's have the tweet on your screens. Dailyites have shown that the public cannot be misled by repeated false promises. The public has responded to the dirty Yamuna, dirty drinking water, broken roads, overflowing sewers and liquor shops open in every street with their votes. I heartily congratulate all the workers of the BJP who work day and night for this grand victory in Delhi. BJP National President JP Nadda and State President Viren Sachdeva, be it the respect for women, the self-respect of unauthorized colony residents, or the immense possibilities of self-employment, Delhi will now become an ideal capital under the leadership of Modi ji. Unquote. Do this. So a quantum jump for the BJP from 7 to 47, rather it's 48. And let me quickly go to our guest in our Delhi studio. You're very happy, pleased, but were you surprised with the results? The kind of early leads handed over, even in terms of leads, the kind of dominating lead BJP maintained in almost all crucial constituencies. First of all, what would you attribute this to, this win for the BJP?
See, Sakal, there was a strong undercurrent on the ground against Aam Aadmi Party for 2-3 reasons. One, Aam Aadmi Party coming out of anti-corruption movement gave a lot of promises and raised expectations very high. Initially, people were ready to give some time to the party to, make the difference felt. But, every time he made some excuses for not doing anything. And the models that he tried to sell, whether the education model or the health model, we have seen what happened during COVID period. Especially if you see the numbers, last time there are 29 constituencies in Delhi which are decisively dominated by the Purvanchali voters, that is the Eastern UP and Bihar.
Yes.
Now, out of those 29, last election, that is 2020, 23 were won by Aam Aadmi Party. This time, out of them, 21 are lost by Aam Aadmi Party. That clearly shows, yes. COVID data, that time I was running few camps on Delhi UP border, and Aam Aadmi Party government, instead of taking care of those people, because most of them are migrant workers or daily wage workers, they ensured that the DTC buses, the local transport buses, drop them on the border without knowing or taking care of anything about what will they do. It was the UP government that assisted them to take further to their homes. So perhaps that was the anger simmering somewhere, and now these allegations of scam, because Aam Aadmi Party had taken a lot of brunt earlier also. Most of their top leaders faced corruption charges, but this time, especially with this liquor scam, Kejriwal himself first time faced, and Aam Aadmi Party, in fact, one of the hearings in Delhi High Court, first time ever in Indian politics, the party that came out of anti-corruption movement, High Court made a statement, why shouldn't we make the entire party a party in this case? Because the money that is allegedly transferred for giving these liquor shops contract, allegedly 300 crores, that has come to the party account. So why shouldn't we make? So this has really another other side of the story is actually the way BJP campaigned this time.
Yes. I'm going to come to that one by one, but before that, let's also play out the sectoral division, the Purvanchal, the minority dominated, the government employee, the JJ cluster. Can we have those numbers there, because Praful Ketkar ji can examine it so beautifully. The Purvanchal one, we can see, if you look at the Delhi map, the peripheries of Delhi, including the northeast, the North Delhi and the northwest Delhi. That's Purvanchal.
If you see the current map that Election Commission is showing, you will see that the entire north and the northwest belt of Delhi is completely saffron.
Yeah. Can we have the map, please? Saffron splurge.
Yes. Barring few seats of south, that is Kalkaji, and some seats of central Delhi, almost all parts.
Kalkaji now has been a saving grace for Aam Aadmi.
Oh yes, because
Atishi
Atishi and Gopal Rai are only two ministerial
graces.
level faces who have secured their seats. Otherwise, Saurabh Bharadwaj or you know, all the main faces. But if you see this map, you see the transformation. You know, the transformation clearly shows from this, the shade has changed.
Yes.
And that is mainly because the way BJP designed this campaign to establish a connect with the different sections of Delhi voters.
Let me take this question to a reporter in the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, Akshay, who has covered the last two assembly elections also. Akshay, Praful Ketkar in our studio is talking about the connect that BJP managed or made it with the electorate, especially the bastions which were traditionally dominated by the Aam Aadmi Party in the last two terms. Yes, and the minority dominated, or the Purvanchal ones, or the JJ cluster ones. If you look at the numbers now and the way the map of these periphery portions of the Delhi looks, you know, it's all orange, it's all saffron. Akshay, over to you for quick analysis, and also I believe absence of cadres and absence of Aam Aadmi Party leaders from the headquarters in its absolute media station there, and nobody else.
Well, Sakal, even media has left now, so let me show you around. So this is the site behind me. This is the stage that was set up earlier in anticipation that the party will be winning the elections, and they will be in fact forming the government once again. There behind me you can see already the workers have started to gather the chairs and the carpets and everything that was brought here in anticipation of the celebration, and things are something that is called tambu khadna, or removing all the arrangements that have been done in anticipation of a party are being done right now. So only the stage is left now that is intact, and even this is expected to be removed very soon from the Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, because it's absolutely deserted. First the leaders left, then the workers left, the volunteers left, and even now the media has left, because all the action has now shifted to the Bharatiya Janata Party headquarters of Delhi State, that is at the Pandit Panch Marg in national capital, which used to be deserted for most part of the year for the last let's say 27 years, and finally celebrations have returned to the Pandit Panch Marg party headquarters of the Delhi State BJP. So finally the BJP has something to celebrate, and here it's absolutely deserted. People are questioning now as to what went wrong. But as far as the connect is concerned, the question of establishing a connect, the Aam Aadmi Party did it earlier in the starting of their political journey, when they had a strong voter base in the auto rickshaw drivers, where they talked about the CNG issue. They had a strong connect with the female voters as well. They had strong connect with the minority communities too. But gradually in the last 10 years, all of these communities have realized that they have not gotten much out of the promises that were made by the Aam Aadmi Party, and it has been largely empty words. For example, if you take the issue of clean water or clean air, that concerns not just the rich but the poor and the common man as well. So all of the issues were not handled well, and then the blame game continued for the last 5 to 7 years since people started asking questions about clean air, clean water, basic amenities, infrastructure, better roads, and better or better employment for people in Delhi as well. So either it was LG that was not letting them work, or it was the Haryana government, UP government, or Punjab government that were polluting the air and water. So people, it seems, got fed up, and BJP was successful in filling that vacuum, since the Congress party once again was absent as far as establishing that
connection. And Congress is now absolutely, Congress continues to be consistent in staying away from power even in these assembly elections, Akshay. That leaves you smiling, the reasons why we are talking about that. Very consistent in the steady decline, Congress out there. Thank you very much, Akshay Dongre, for joining us from Aam Aadmi Party headquarters, which according to our reporter is now slowly going to wear a deserted look. The cadres have left, and the media is also slipping out. And also Anil Thomas of DD India joining us live from the epicenter of action, BJP headquarters in the national capital, and I think the stage is set for big celebrations in the evening, Anil, today?
Well, exactly. Good afternoon, Sakal. Well, the excitement is in the air, and one can understand, the thumping margin of victory. Let's break the 70 seats into, the 7 Lok Sabha seats, except for South Delhi, where the AAP has managed to get some kind of foothold. In the remaining 6 Lok Sabha seats, they have lost or performed much, much below their expectations. That's not the Purvanchal votes close to 29 seats in Purvanchal, BJP getting 22 of them, leading in 22 of them. The Juggi Jhopadis, which form a big cluster of the AAP vote bank, BJP has been able to make great inroads. You talk about the poor, you talk about the middle class, the right combination of getting the metric right when it comes to elections. I think the BJP state as well as the central leadership have worked in coalition, and you can see this result that's out. Both you have opposition parties, the AAP as well as the Congress. You see deserted look. Can you see the celebration here? I think the mood is upbeat. This kind of result BJP has been waiting for almost 27 years. You've seen 15 years of Congress rule from 1998, 10 years of AAP. Finally, BJP manages to win power in Delhi. And I think the celebration is not only going to be big, it's going to be mammoth here in the national capital. The mood has just started. The celebrations have just started here in the BJP office. And in the morning, you didn't see much of a crowd here. But as the numbers started seeping in, you see BJP moving past that 36 mark and then surging past 45. I think the celebration is big, and the celebration will be huge here in the national capital.
Anil, stay with us. Please stay with us. Let me quickly cut live across to our DD India newsroom, from where my colleague Amit is joining us with more numbers, because now the picture, it seems to be getting more crystallized as to what have been the gains for the BJP, consequently resulting in the big losses for the Aam Aadmi Party, and a absolute duck for the Congress party. But it seems that for the BJP, that 60% of the middle class and the women electorate, which also forms a huge chunk of the Delhi vote bank, the 72 lakh, approximately 72 lakh women voters, BJP got this matrix right.
Well, absolutely, Sakal. If you look at the numbers, they speak for itself. BJP almost close to 50 seats, 48 as of now. And I think it's more or less stable, with 23 coming for the Aam Aadmi Party. It's a very clear-cut equation as far as the numbers are concerned. BJP has gained all the 39 seats which AAP has lost during this election. And if you look at the vote share, BJP has got about 47% of the vote share, whereas AAP is about 4% below. But having said that, again, the 70 assembly constituencies across Delhi, the population is not very even. Some, constituencies have about 60,000 people. The others have about 130,000 people. So clearly, the vote share doesn't really directly translate into the number of seats. But yes, In fact, BJP has been able to made a dent in some of the most solid vote banks of the Aam Aadmi Party. For example, if you look at the Jhuggi Jhopri clusters or the slum dwelling voters. Yeah, the JJ clusters, which is like predominantly kind of populated by slum dwellers. There are about 20 such constituencies in Delhi, out of which BJP seems to be now heading to bag almost 12 seats out of these 20, which means that, again, these 20 constituencies were the bastions of Aam Aadmi Party. The slum dwellers have always been supporting Arvind Kejriwal for the last 10 years. But this time, I don't think they have bought his sops of freebies, and clearly, I mean, there is a complete loss of credibility as the Aam Aadmi Party is concerned. And on the other hand, they have kind of pledged their support for BJP, hoping that the national capital of the country would now wear some better looks in terms of infrastructure, whether it's in terms of drinking water availability, and of course the Yamuna River. If you look at all developed cities across the world, that's the main river. I mean, it always has a fantastic look with riverfronts and all. And every year, I mean, around the monsoon, the Yamuna gets cleaned.
Right, Amit.
And the only thing that needs to be done is to plug all those polluting units. But I mean, clearly over the last 10 years, Aam Aadmi Party has failed to do it.
So it's for the BJP now to keep up with the poll promises they made, because they've got the votes, they've got the mandate. Now they need to deliver on those promises, because one thing is very clear. As I once again go back to Prafulji, I'll come to you. I really appreciate your patience. To Anil, because the Delhi electorate cannot be misled, Anil. And the rhetoric doesn't work, the real issues, and we have a reaction coming in from Arvind Kejriwal, the convener of the Aam Aadmi Party and the former chief minister who has lost his seat.
एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव ऑपोजिशन का रोल निभाएंगे, बल्कि हम समाज सेवा, जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना, व्यक्तिगत तौर पे जिसको भी जो ज़रूरत होगी, हम लोगों के सुख दुख में हमेशा काम आएंगे, क्योंकि हम राजनीति में कोई सत्ता के लिए नहीं आए। हम राजनीति को एक ज़रिया मानते हैं जिसके ज़रिए जनता की सेवा की जा सके, जिसके ज़रिए लोगों के सुख दुख में काम आया जा सके। वो काम हम करते रहेंगे और हमें आगे भी इसी तरह से जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना है। मैं आम आदमी पार्टी के सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। वो बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़े, बहुत मेहनत की, उन्होंने बहुत कुछ सहा इस पूरे चुनाव के दौरान। उन्होंने बहुत शानदार चुनाव लड़ा, इसके लिए मैं उन सबको, सभी कार्यकर्ताओं को बहुत बहुत बधाई देना चाहता हूँ। नमस्कार।
Congratulating his cadres for the performance, Shandar Chunav, great performance, quote unquote. Arvind Kejriwal, who lost his seat of power, his constituency, New Delhi constituency. Anil, you would agree, will play that is the seat which will play, or which already is playing, a decisive role as to who is going to be the next Chief Minister of Delhi. Arvind Kejriwal also talking about the fact that now, after conceding defeat, we are going to play a role of constructive opposition. We will continue to reach out to the poor and downtrodden. We will, interesting, Anil, we were not here for the sake of power, but for service. But then I congratulate my cadres for braving it out, and that's it. That's the first reaction breaking on your DD India channel. And Anil, you continue to stay with us. I'm going to once again come to you. A quick one on the credibility, the fall from credibility versus the trust in the Modi guarantee. That's what all these reactionary bites and tweets are indicating to, and the policies of the BJP. But my question to you would be on the women candidate. You were talking about the fact that BJP got its matrix right, middle class vote bank, budget announcements might have helped, but that the women electorate always plays a crucial role. Here, I think there were 6 out of 96 women that were fielded. Am I right? 6 won, 96, the total number of women. And we're talking about a state which has already had a female chief minister multiple times from the BJP as well as Congress, and Atshi Marlena winning his seat, but the party is losing. Anil, can you hear us?
Well, yes, Sakal, very much, one talks about the options that are there purely in terms of chief ministership. the biggest could be the man who was given the seat of Delhi, New Delhi, to fight to take on the mighty Arvind Kejriwal. Could be the front runner. There are two or three other names that are doing the rounds. Two of them, at least women candidates who've not fought elections but still doing the rounds. So it could be a bag of 5 that we are seeing. But at least 2 names, one big name that could be missing from the list is the man from Kalkaji who lost to Atishi, the former chief minister of Delhi. They're losing that election. That could be one of the candidates. But all in all, if one takes a look at this particular elections, the poor as well as the middle class, if the voting percentage one takes into account, over 48%, the poor and the middle class have consolidated or moved away from the AAP to the BJP. So there is a lack of credibility that the AAP faces, or the faces that AAP pitched failed, whereas the guarantee that the Prime Minister along with the state leadership that brought to the table, that's been more to the liking. And I think this double engine growth that we have been talking about, we've seen it in Haryana, we've seen it in Maharashtra, where the double engine, the promises that have been made, people have found it to their liking. And I think that's where, there has been a total shift. There has been a total shift or focus that's moved away from AAP. I think the last 5 years, AAP in their first term did work, but in the second, they were more caught up with the leaders in jail coming back and forth. And I think they lost focus, they lost connect with the people. And when you lose connect with the people, when you are a regional force, you have a huge price to pay. Somewhere deep down, the AAP lost the way. And I think term 2, they didn't have much to work, or they didn't have much of work to promote. They were more banking on their term 1 work that they did. They were bringing it to the people and trying to showcase it. And I think the people were smart to realize that, it's time. It's been 27 years that BJP has not been far in Delhi. It's time that we shift focus. We look at a double engine and see what the BJP can do for us. And I think that's been the big game changer. You look at the women that have voted for BJP, you look at the middle class, you look at the poor, you look at every strata of society. 48%, you've got the lion's share when it comes to winning elections, especially in a state like Delhi where you have close to 1.56 crore voters. And I think that's where, the big shift has been. The tectonic shift has been the middle class moving away from AAP, along with the poor, looking at the options available for them, picking on BJP because they felt that Congress was not a team or a unit that could take on the might. So I think given the options, people have chosen what they thought best right, or what they thought was the next best option. And I think we'll have to give credit to the people, because the people have believed in this double engine. The people have believed in what the Prime Minister said, and the people have also believed in the SOP. Or the freebies that have been announced.
Anil,
so it's going to be a tightrope walking even for BJP, but it will be interesting to look forward to.
Okay, Anil, before I just come back to the studio and have Prafulji's take on the tectonic shift that you talk about, if you could just ask your camera person to pan the camera and get us a sense of the kind of celebratory preparations that are underway.
Well, Sakal, I just request my cameraman, just pan across to the BJP headquarters there. In the morning, there were close to 100, 200, 300 people on the street. But now the roads are jam-packed. The Delhi police is very much there. The Delhi police is trying to manage the traffic on the street. This particular street, there is no place to move. Right now, when I've asked my cameraman to move, there is a mini traffic jam that he's caused on the street. So you can understand there is the immense crowd that's landed up here on the Delhi street. And that's where it's going to get, this place is now buzzing with activity.
Yes.
And when this place is buzzing with activity, you can understand maybe in an hour or two, you wouldn't even get a place to stand, a little bit of place to stand here on this Panth Mark, which is the BJP state headquarters.
Yes. We stay with Anil as Prafulji wants to come in here. The tectonic shift that he spoke about, you agree? And I think, looking at the numbers, it's a huge shift.
Yeah. See, what had happened, it was a sort of jinx for BJP. BJP had around 47% of vote share in 1993. Since 1998, BJP was hovering around somewhere between 35 to 37% vote share. Though Modi's leadership and Prime Minister Modi's guarantee could work for BJP in Lok Sabha elections, it could not be translated in assembly elections.
Correct.
So this and since 98 onwards, and especially after 2006, what happened that the delimitation that took place in Delhi, as a famous the American way of explaining the redesigning of constituencies called gerrymandering. So the way gerrymandering was done by Mrs. Sheila Dikshit that time, around 14 to 16 constituencies were designed in such a way that BJP would have a very less chance, because most of the slum dwellers and Muslim dominated constituencies were carved out in such a way that it would be very difficult for BJP to and if those votes get consolidated at one particular party and on anti-BJP plank, then BJP virtually contest on minus 15 and then start what BJP did this time differently. After Lok Sabha election, BJP immediately got into action. On the one hand, Prime Minister Modi, Mr. Amit Shah, they worked out the national level or state level plank of, in first meeting itself, Prime Minister Modi called Apada, that is disaster, to this particular government. And on the other hand, state unit focused on the local issues.
Prafulji, we'll take a quick 10 minutes from you, because we are joined by Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson, a former cephalogist, now the BJP's prominent face when it comes to the spokesperson. Pradeep, thank you very much for joining us. Explain it to us, what really worked. You got the matrix right, but this, a quantum jump from 7 to 47, what would you attribute this big win to? As BJP scripts history in national capital, coming back to power after more than 2 decades.
Well, Sakal, this is all because of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, because people of Delhi have believed in Prime Minister Narendra Modi's commitment. People of Delhi were tired of misgovernance, lies, falsehood, deceit, corruption of Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. They looked at Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bharatiya Janata Party as hope, as a party which has a track record of good governance. And this is what the people of Delhi wanted. Because when we were forming the narrative of Delhi on the ground, there were 3 cardinal issues which people were facing. A, they did not have clean drinking water. B, they were tired because there were basic amenities, whether it is good road, clean city, was not there. And 3, they saw Mr. Kejriwal as a corrupt man, not as an honest man.
We have a tweet coming from the Prime Minister. First reaction post this thumping win. Janashakti is paramount. Development wins. Pradeep, stay with us. Good governance triumphs. I bow to my dear sisters and brothers of Delhi for this resounding and historic mandate for Bharatiya Janata Party. We are humbled and honored to receive these blessings. It is our guarantee that we will leave no stone unturned in developing Delhi, improving the overall quality of life for the people, and ensuring that Delhi has a prime role to play in building a Viksit Bharat. A futuristic vision reflected in Prime Minister Modi's first reaction after a massive win for Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi, where he starts attributing this win to the development, to the good governance. In fact, also saying that the party is humbled and honored. This is the second tweet by the Prime Minister, Honorable Prime Minister, that he is humbled and honored to receive these blessings, and Janashakti is paramount. Yes, Pradeep, as we stay with this tweet of the Prime Minister. The power of people is paramount. That's what the Prime Minister says.
Absolutely, Sakal. The people of Delhi, as they say, have defeated lies and falsehood and deceit and corruption, and they have believed in Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a man who is known for delivering good governance. The people of Delhi for the last many years wanted to see Delhi as a Viksit city, a city with modern amenities, a city with corruption-free governance, and the only hope for them was Prime Minister Narendra Modi. And this is what the ground sentiment was. If you look at in the last 10 years, Mr. Arvind Kejriwal had promised many things, but on the ground when we travelled and when we spoke to the citizens of Delhi, residents of Delhi, none of that was delivered. And our entire campaign under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji was purely focused on these issues, and this is what we resonated in our campaign. This is why Prime Minister Narendra Modi called Arvind Kejriwal's party as Apda because it could not deliver either on the moral plank or on the basic amenities plank. We are extremely thankful to the people of Delhi who gave us this mandate under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister, and we assure them that we will work tirelessly to ensure that Delhi becomes a modern city with Viksit Delhi, Viksit Bharat.
Arvind Kejriwal had earlier very boldly asserted that BJP would need another birth, Pradeep, to beat or defeat Aam Aadmi Party in Delhi. And you know, that, remember, was the tweet that went viral. And okay, you're smiling out there. So what do you have to say to the poll promises now that BJP has been handed over this win and Aam Aadmi Party has been handed over the defeat? You know, the whole rhetoric of beneficiaries versus freebie, do you think that has completely backfired for Aam Aadmi Party?
Well, Mr. Kejriwal's the statement which you were speaking about reflects his arrogance, reflects his hubris and ghamand. And this is what the people of Delhi stood against. They looked at Prime Minister Narendra Modi as a humble man, a man who is a poor, comes from a poor family, who has risen from the top, who has provided basic amenities across the country, whether it is clean drinking water to more than 4 crore households, whether it is ensuring that more than 10 crore women get toilet access, which was not provided to them by the Congress party, or it is 50 crore accounts, Jan Dhan accounts. So people across the country have seen the delivery and good governance of Prime Minister Narendra Modi, and people of Delhi were starving for it. People of Delhi wanted to give that a chance. And they, like it is natural that any voter gives any leader a certain amount of time. Mr. Kejriwal had a bandwidth of 10 years, after which also if he could not provide basic amenities, people said enough is enough. We gave Prime Minister Narendra Modi 7 seats in Lok Sabha. Now it is time to give him these seats in Assembly for a better quality of life.
What is the vision for Delhi next for BJP? Prime Minister talks about Delhi's role in Viksit Bharat. Well, that is something that sets the tone for your governance blueprint for the BJP in Delhi?
Well, the blueprint of the Bharatiya Janata Party in Delhi is what is being committed in our Sankalp Patra, which was out in the open. We will ensure that Ma Yamuna is clean. It is clean in the next 3 years. A Yamuna riverfront is built on the just like the Sabarmati riverfront was built in Gujarat. We will ensure that our Purvanchal brothers can celebrate Chhath on the banks of River Yamuna. We will ensure that Mr. Kejriwal did not spend any amount of money in building capital expenditure, capex in Delhi. We will build good roads. We will ensure more modern hospitals come up. And this is the start of governance and positive politics in Delhi. We also assure the women of Delhi that they will get the direct benefit transfer of 2,500 rupees, which was promised. So people of Delhi will get a city that they can be proud of as the national capital, because this will put a foundation of Viksit Bharat 2047.
Okay, Pradeep, stay with us. I've got Praful Ketkarji in my Delhi studio who also like to talk to you. Prafulji, please.
Hi, namaste, Pradeep. Hearty congratulations. I would like to ask you, not just as a spokesperson, but also a cephalogist.
Cephalogist, yes.
You know, what changed? What changed in terms of strategy? The election campaign as well as, connecting with the people on the ground. What was so different from 2020, when it comes to BJP's all-over campaign strategy that, made this possible?
Well, Prafulji, having worked very integrally in this campaign, particularly narrative, I can tell you that there are 3-4 cardinal differences in 2025 and 2020. But just remember, in 2020, we got our most historic vote share of 38.5%. So in an election in Delhi, which earlier used to be a tripolar election, where the Bharatiya Janata Party used to be a 32-33% vote share party, it could clog a 38.5% vote share and increased its vote share in each seat. That was the inflection vote share for us to be in competition in Delhi. Since then, you saw Arvind Kejriwal going down on the moral plank. His Shishmail saw him as a corrupt man, and at the same time, basic amenities were not delivered on the ground. So as a part of the strategy, what we focused on is resonating these issues. So if you see and analyze that 90% of our campaign was whether Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has provided clean drinking water. whether Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has provided good roads, and even on his plank of education and health, by data and facts and videos of his own hypocrisy of claim and counterclaim, we took that to the ground. We focused on 4,206 focused booths across 42 constituencies, where we did not win in the assemblies, but we had won either in the Lok Sabha or our margin was less than 5% vote. This time the narrative of Bharatiya Janata Party, if you observe the line, was ab Delhi ki hai bari. So our entire resonance plank was that Prime Minister Narendra Modi has provided clean drinking water across the country. Now we will do that in Delhi. We have provided direct benefit transfer to the women across the country. Now it is the time of Delhi. So our entire thing was ab Delhi ke bari. Along with that, if you see, the Prime Minister in his speech said that give us a chance to serve in Delhi. You've tried Congress 10 years and tried Aam Aadmi Party 10 years. So there was an anti-incumbency against Mr. Kejriwal, and that Prime Minister's own personal assurance and appeal to the people of Delhi, asking a chance to serve, I think provided us that impetus. Along with that, this time we could get massive amount of middle class to come to the polling booth and vote, because they were tired of Mr. Kejriwal. In 15 and 20, they were with Mr. Kejriwal to some extent, but this time what we could see is that the entire middle class support was also with us. So overall, I looked at it as an anti-incumbency election, where we spoke about issues which the people of Delhi wanted. So strategically, we ensured that we peaked 72 hours to 48 hours before polling, rather than peaking too early. And Mr. Kejriwal doing one ghoshna after the other made the people on the ground realize that he sirf ghoshna karta hai, kar nahi kuch pata, and his entire strategy to play victim also backfired on him. So overall, I see it as a positive sentiment for Delhi giving Prime Minister Modi a chance.
67% of the middle class vote bank that you're talking about, in over 72 lakh female voters constituency. Pradeep, it seems that this matrix has worked well for you. But then, as a cephalogist, you look at the Purvanchal factor. Remember, we discussed this in the last assembly elections also. There also, Bharatiya Janata Party has made massive inroads, particularly the Purvanchal areas that we are talking about. What worked in your favor? What was the strategy like? The JJ cluster,
well, as I said,
the JJ cluster, adding to that, the JJ cluster and the government employee dominated areas, that also.
Well, on the government employee dominated area, I believe that the commitment to implement the 8th pay commission is something which gave the government employees an assurance. They were already tired with Mr. Kejriwal and the way he treated government employees. Number one. Number two, on the Purvanchal part, when we went on the ground, what we saw was that Ma Yamuna is extremely cardinal and integral to all our Purvanchal brothers and sisters.
Okay.
And Mr. Kejriwal, if you recall that in the last 10 years, promised to clean it and did not. A Prime Minister saying that he is a Sansad from Purvanchal and he will personally ensure that Ma Yamuna is clean, I think that became a differentiating factor.
Okay. Pradeep, one final question. Do you think this is going to have some sort of a ripple effect on the next state assembly elections that we are going into? This is a micro question, and the macro question, its implications on the national political scenario.
Well, the implications on the macro level on the national political scenario is the following, that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal, this will be a lesson to a lot of political parties who do not have any ideology, who have anarchist mindset and approach, and they promise things but do not deliver. And ultimately, anybody who wants to enter Indian politics need to know that what matters is not what you promise, but what matters is whether can you complete your promise. And this is what differentiates Prime Minister Narendra Modi from Mr. Arvind Kejriwal. So macro level, we see the India alliance falling apart. On the micro level, this will have ripple effect in Punjab in the days to come.
Okay, broken India alliance and division of words clearly working in your favor, BJP's favor. But yes, now BJP has to walk the talk when it comes to polls. Poll promises. You've been handed this big win, but you have to keep up to those promises as well. Many thanks, Pradeep Bhandari, national spokesperson, former journalist and cephalogist, for decoding this big win for Bharatiya Janata Party. Thank you for joining. And let's move on. And we also, as we just told you earlier, that Aam Aadmi Party has conceded defeat in Delhi Assembly polls. Arvind Kejriwal, the former Chief Minister and convener, has already conceded the defeat, saying that they are ready to play the role of constructive opposition. And there are more reactions that are pouring in. Take a look and then we'll go back to the guest.
दिल्ली की जनता ने जो विश्वास दिया है भारतीय जनता पार्टी पर, वो बहुत महत्वपूर्ण है। पिछले अनेक सालों से दिल्ली के विकास में अनेक अड़चनें पैदा हुई थी। मेरे डिपार्टमेंट से हम लोग 65,000 करोड़ के काम कर रहे हैं और 35,000 करोड़ के नए काम डिक्लेयर कर रहे हैं। हम दिल्ली को प्रदूषण से मुक्त और दुनिया का सबसे सुंदर शहर बनाना चाहते हैं और मेरा विश्वास है कि भारतीय जनता पार्टी की जीत के कारण प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी के नेतृत्व में अब दिल्ली की तस्वीर बदलेगी, ये मेरा दृढ़ विश्वास है। दिल्ली की जनता ने हमको जो जीत दिलाई है, मैं जनता के प्रति आभार व्यक्त करता हूँ। मुझे लगता था कि हम लोग सरकार आएगी और हमें अपेक्षा से भी अच्छी जीत मिली है। जनता ने विश्वास जताया, ये बहुत खुशी की बात है।
जो दिल्ली के लोगों ने गत 10 वर्षों में भ्रष्टाचार, अराजकता और विकास से वंचित रहने का दुख देखा है, उसके सामने प्रधानमंत्री मोदी जी ने जो देश को एक विश्वास दिया है और अच्छे कामों से देशवासियों की सेवा की है, उसके लिए दिल्ली के लोगों ने मोदी जी को आशीर्वाद देने की जीत दी है। जैसे केंद्र में तीसरी बार, महाराष्ट्र और हरियाणा में तीसरी बार प्रचंड बहुमत मिली। अब दिल्ली के लोग विकास चाहते हैं, दिल्ली के लोग सुशासन चाहते हैं, डबल इंजन सरकार, तो मोदी जी के मार्गदर्शन में, उनके आशीर्वाद से जनता की सेवा करें।
आज दिल्ली के चुनाव के नतीजे आए हैं और जनता का जो भी निर्णय है, जनता का जो भी फैसला है, उसे हम पूरी विनम्रता के साथ स्वीकार करते हैं। जनता का निर्णय सर माथे पर। मैं भारतीय जनता पार्टी को इस जीत के लिए बहुत बहुत बधाई देता हूं और मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जिस उम्मीद के साथ और जिस आशा के साथ लोगों ने उनको बहुमत दिया है, वो उन सभी उम्मीदों और आशाओं पे पूरा उतरेंगे। हमने पिछले 10 साल में जनता ने जो मौका दिया हमें, उन 10 सालों में हमने बहुत सारे काम किए। शिक्षा के क्षेत्र में, स्वास्थ्य के क्षेत्र में, पानी के क्षेत्र में, बिजली के क्षेत्र में और भी अलग अलग तरीके से लोगों को राहत पहुंचाने की कोशिश की उनकी ज़िंदगी में, और दिल्ली के इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर को भी हमने सुधारने की कोशिश की। अब जो जनता ने हमें निर्णय दिया है, हम न केवल एक कंस्ट्रक्टिव ऑपोजिशन का रोल निभाएंगे, बल्कि हम समाज सेवा, जनता के सुख दुख में काम आना, व्यक्तिगत तौर पे जिसको भी जो ज़रूरत होगी, हम लोगों के सुख दुख में हमेशा काम आएंगे।
ये जो सरकार बन रही है दिल्ली में, ये प्रधानमंत्री जी के विजन को दिल्ली में लेके आएगी, तो मैं प्रधानमंत्री जी का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने अपना समय दिया। मैं दिल्ली की जनता का बहुत बहुत एक बार फिर से धन्यवाद करता हूं और ये जीत, ये प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी जी की जीत है, ये सभी दिल्ली वासियों की जीत।
Well, Parvez Singh Verma winning a very crucial seat, New Delhi seat, defeating Arvind Kejriwal, the former Chief Minister and Aam Aadmi Party convener. We continue to track these reactions. Before we go to Prafulji, Union Home Minister and senior BJP leader Amit Shah has also applauded the results, sharing his sentiments on platform X. He says, and I quote, Delhiites have shown that the public cannot be misled by repeated false promises. Public has responded to the dirty Yamuna, dirty drinking water, broken roads, overflowing sewers and liquor shops open in every street with their votes. I heartily congratulate all the workers of the BJP who worked day-night for the grand victory in Delhi. BJP National President JP Nadda and State President Viren Sachdeva. Be it the respect for women, the self-respect of unauthorized colony residents or the immense possibilities of self-employment, Delhi will now become an ideal capital under the leadership of Modi ji, unquote. Also, Union Minister and senior BJP leader and Rajnath Singh also taking to Twitter, congratulating BJP for its landslide win in Delhi Assembly elections, says that this is a victory of faith in the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and the policies of the BJP. The people of this country have faith in Modi ji's credibility and the politics of good governance and development of the BJP. He further states that I heartily congratulate Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, Party President Shri JP Nadda, Delhi State BJP President Shri Virendra Sachdeva and all the party workers for this magnificent victory. After almost 27 years, the people of Delhi have given their trust and blessings to the BJP. For this, I express my gratitude to the people of Delhi. A developed Delhi is very important to fulfill the resolution of a developed India. After the victory, the double-engine government will give a new impetus to the development of Delhi." Unquote. Okay. Prafulji continues to stay with us. Really appreciate your patience, Praful Ketkar. Now the next big question.
CM.
Yes. Yes, what's your take? Who is going to be, because I mean, not really the party high command gets to decide, but what is your sense in this?
No, the way Parvesh was called today by Amit Shah, I think he has got a fair chance. But another name I think that the way BJP gives surprises. Maybe there are other faces like Sirsa, because Sikh community will get some kind of, or maybe some woman face or some SC face. So, but what is going to be different? Please try and understand that most of the schemes of center, which were not getting translated on the ground in Delhi, now they will get the real. Infrastructure was a huge issue. There was an undercurrent. Because
that has been a rallying point.
Yes, because if you see right from Mr. Madanlal Khurana or Sahib Singh Verma or Sheila Dikshit, despite political differences, when it comes to the introducing CNG or bringing flyovers connecting entire ring road of Delhi, or the completing the metro project, there was a complete synergy irrespective of who is there in power in center. That somehow was completely broken in
developing Delhi was a common agenda.
Yes, and beyond that, what the way he promised. Earlier, his excuse was either center is not allowing us to do anything, and when it comes to the cleanliness and other delivery, especially the contract laborers, there is a huge number in Delhi government who are on contractual basis, or even in municipal corporation. Now, most of those people, because now municipal corporation is also in Aam Aadmi Party's hand, and state government was there for 10 years, and now you just can't give an excuse. But somehow, I'm really glad, that Kejriwal, came out and accepted the defeat. I was hoping, today perhaps there will be another Rudali show of, criticizing EVM and ECI and,
fixing the blame.
Because he started, at mid of the campaign, he said 10% votes are share. I just said some fake voters are being settled in my constituency
I think
from
there was a
UP
lot of
and
humility in his address. Yeah.
So, but I am really glad that this is a good sign for democracy.
Okay.
That somebody is
and the fact that
accepting
we
the
will
defense.
play a role of constructive opposition.
Yeah, and it is expected in democracy.
He wasn't in an attacking mode. That's what you're trying
Yeah,
to say.
no. He was not in attacking mode. He was not even in complaining mode. That is a good thing, because the common feature, whether he was in power or whether he was in agitation mode, complaining was a the
common component.
But really, what happened? Post 2020, especially from COVID period, virtually Delhi was governance less. Most of the ministers were in jail. He himself was in jail and was not ready to resign unless and until Supreme Court told him that even if we are granting you a bail, you can't go back to your office and sign the files. So, that clearly showed, most of the things that he said. He started by saying that I will not make an alliance with Congress. He did. He said I will not accept official residence or security. He did. And now this, entire narrative that BJP built around the Sheesh Mahal, the new bungalow that he constructed himself during the COVID period. The health, on health front, this Mohalla clinics and education model talked about, but recent studies even exposed those models. So on every front he got cornered, and last 4-5 years 2020 I thought was a very good opportunity for Kejriwal to come out of that, typical NGO politics mindset. And what we are seeing, Sakal, today, and because DD India, most of the voters on international front, what we are seeing today in the larger debate about US aid and the role that US aid has played in influencing certain policies or managing or political interventions. Aam Aadmi Party's politics was exactly on the same line.
Okay.
So
which has backfired.
Most of the things that he did, whether on environment front or Mohalla Clinic front, that were nothing but actually outsourcing to various NGOs who are in alignment with his earlier avatar, and they were the indirect beneficiaries. They were the indirect beneficiaries of all these, advertisement campaign rather than the governance models.
So the bottom line is that rhetoric hasn't worked, but the real issues have been the rallying point, and that is something that infrastructure of Delhi could have been their agenda, which they missed the bus.
Yes.
And consequently, BJP sweeping, if I may be allowed to use the word, sweeping Aam Aadmi Party out of power, handing them an unprecedented and historic win. Well, with that, we need to wrap up this special broadcast, Delhi Assembly elections. The big headline, the national headline coming from heart of India, the national capital New Delhi, is that it's the Bharatiya Janata Party making a huge comeback to power. And how? By registering a huge win on 46 seats out of 70, and Aam Aadmi Party now going to be sitting in the principal opposition seat, with Congress, which once used to be a force to reckon with in Delhi political circuit, has been decimated to zero. With that, I take your leave and thank you very, very much, Praful Ketkar, editor-organizer, RSS Ideologue, for joining us and examining all these numbers with us. So stay with us on DD India. We'll be back with more news as it breaks only here on your channel DD India. I'm Sakal Bhatt, and from me and my entire team, thank you for tuning in. Namaskar.